Right, all right, all right, all right. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into another stream today. We're just going to do a quick review, see what the markets did the past 2 days. No, we didn't stream yesterday, and we didn't stream today or yesterday morning and yesterday night. But back right now, just going to do a quick overview here. So we'll look at Tuesday or Wednesday and Thursday, just Thursdays today. So yesterday, what was interesting, right? We swept the previous daily high, which was over here. It was that Tuesday. So we swept that previous daily high. Price was displacing above it. We had a nice run to the upside here, sweeping some of these liquidities as well, right? We're going to do a higher time frame overview and then drop it down to the lower time frame. As price has swept that, right, we can outline the Tuesday. There's our 50% of the day range right there. So as we swept the high, we were obviously looking for price as it was just kind of consolidating over here above. As price displaces below that previous daily high, now we are looking for potentially going to the outside day and finishing that off. And doing that going into the day. So for that to happen, we need to see price displace the 50% of the day first and then continue to the downside from there. As you can see, we kind of consolidated here on the higher time frame and then continue to the downside from it. Nice little outside day there. All right, on the 5-minute and the 15-minute here, we are observing the two levels that we have on the upside, which are our 12-hour levels. All right, here we have the 24, 25, 194, 25 level at the top. And you can see there, right? Price comes in up top there. We see a rejection initially overnight. As it does that, we get a nice SFP forming as well, going right into that 830 opening. Price continues to the downside. We start dropping below that range. Initial consolidation, retest, continuation to the downside. Even tap into this tiny but mighty fair value gap, right? Typically is what we usually get on those. If it's a small fair value gap, but we have a decent enough reason to continue to the downside, we'll typically see that. And there's that displacement below that previous daily high, right? You can see candle breaks. We come back, retest it on this one, and then continue to the downside. Going to that New York opening, we were looking for an initial bounce. This is something that we outlined inside the paper traders, right? You have a fair value gap here on the low side. This whole overnight range, or even that previous daily range, you can take this into account, and then you can make it an OTE right there. And price bounces right into that 705, where we get a 705 bounce right here on that new hourly open, retrace to the upside, going into 930. We get an initial tap right there. We also have another level at 24,995. Right, as price continues, we get that 15-minute 945 taps into it, and then the next candle, we get that reversal back to the downside. So there's that initial 30-minute or 15-minute continuation to the upside. Next 15-minute opens up, sweeps the previous 15-minute high, and then we get that continuation reversal to the downside, straight through that 50% of that previous day, and right down to the outside. Over here, there was a few consolidation and few entry potentials as well, right? Price, as it sweeps that previous hourly low, we get another retrace to the top on that new hourly candle, open up, tap of that 50%, or not the 50%, tap of the fair value gap, continuation to the downside. And this is also an OTE of that range, right? Tap into the 618, reversal back to the downside, continuation to that previous daily low, as that what price wanted to do. And then similar here, right? Sweep, another continuation, probably 786 rejection here within this range. 786, yeah, just about. But sweeping these range liquidities and then continuation downside. This was right at that FOMC mark. So, and then we get that reversal continuation to the downside. Same thing going into today or yesterday, 5-minute. Yeah, similar thing, just that consolidation. That was a little killer, right? But you have to trust that higher time frame. That was one thing I kept telling myself, like that tap, no hold, sweep of this liquidity, tap of this fair value gap. This all holds to the downside. We wanted to look like it wanted to go down at least to that London session low. So that's what we were playing on. Got that delivery, right? As on the 5-minute, we have Asia session range, London session sweep on both sides. So going to New York, that poses a potential of a outside day or S&D profile, which typically does tend to happen during FOMC days too. Did not see that, just totally fine. Just got that continuation to the downside. Now going into today, what we had today. So initially that drop into the downside, a little continuation to upside. You can see we retested this 4-hour fair value gap, and we also retested this inverse 4-hour gap that we had there, fair value gap. Price doesn't tap into the 50% of it, so we get that reversal back to the downside. On the hourly, a little interesting, right? We get that retrace into this hourly fair value gap, continuation to the downside, sweeping that Sunday open level, and then finally finding that reversal and seeing a little bit of consolidation, but still getting that reversal. On the 15-minute here during the overnight session, you can see as we came into these levels, got that reversal, retested this 24,632.75, continued to the downside. Similar thing, 24,495.25. Came down initially at 930, sweeping those lows here, tapping into these fair value gaps that we have on the left, and then getting that reversal to the upside. On the 5-minute, however, this is where it got really good, honestly, for us. We were watching this Asia session expansion. As we got this little formation here, we have a fair value gap, not necessarily any sweep of liquidity, but on a higher time frame looks obviously a lot better as we get a wick to the upside. 5-minute fair value gap, you can see how the bodies are not closing within that range, and we get that reversal back to the downside, targeting. You can target that previous day low, you can target that Asia session low, whichever one. Well, initially we got that bounce off that previous day low sweep, reversal to the upside. Could not clear the 50% of the previous day, obviously. Overnight session today had that nice reversal continuation. Looking into New York session, right? Asia consolidation, London session, manipulation to the downside. So New York session, we would be looking for expansion at least up to that London session high here. So as price opens up at 930, 920, 930, we get that initial run to the downside. Next 5-minute candle opens up, sweeps the low of that previous candle. We have a rising VIX fix here, which gives us more confidence for a continuation to the upside. And we get a little bit of a run to the upside into here. Then price retraces into the OTE of this range here again, right? Tapping that 618. We get that another leg to the upside, not quite sweeping that liquidity, but initially we come up and sweep that. There's a cleaner chart. Sweep that, sweep both of those liquidities, get another reversal into the downside range here, and you can continue kind of slapping that range out. You can see, there we go, tap of that 705. We get another rising VIX within here, which gives us more confidence for that continuation to the upside, get that upside move, and then the day close. Right now, Asia session, and then let's see on the 1 minute, in terms of the 1 minute time frame, similar thing here, right? On the 1 minute, SFP right at 936 gives us that reversal to the upside. Initial retrace down here, retest of this order block, continuation to the upside, and also retest of this inverse fair value gap on the 1 minute. As price taps back into that 50%, we continue to hold there. And then we get that reversal and continuation back into the upside, targeting these two liquidities. Get that, another tap of that. As you can see, this inverse fair value gap continued to hold throughout the session. So every time we tapped into it, could have taken a nice long for whatever continuation you wanted to. And then from there, that is all I got. Nothing crazy going into tomorrow. No news either. So going to be really watching that previous, honestly, maybe another outside day sweep. The previous daily high wouldn't be bad as price remains below that 1550. And then continuation to the downside, or maybe we get a little bounce here into the end of the week. Nice little 12-hour here. So there's potential tapping into this. What is this here? There's that 12-hour fair value gap price. Maybe something to watch for as a potential opportunity to reject out of, but price can still come into it. Watching potential rejection at the 12-hour here from 24.7 to 525 to 24.990, 75, 24.990, 24.990. So those are the two potential levels that we could be looking for price to retrace down to, up to, and see what we do in terms of reactions there. In terms of stocks, I honestly haven't looked at anything. Probably waiting until the end of this quarter to really see what the market wants to do. as we're just kind of consolidating, and some of these are just seeing inside months. We get this, we get that, we get this, we get the other. AMT might look decent here with that daily SFP, but at the same time, you know, weekly, monthly is still looking a little fucking whack here. And given that we got actually AMT now, I might fuck around AMT stock trading. Daily. So daily SFP, but also tomorrow of the week. So we're watching that. Yeah, maybe AMT. AMT doesn't look too terrible, right? BA still just fucking cranking. Celsius doesn't look too bad. Coin. TDOG, ENPH found a nice little bounce today. That's solid. Love that. Off that 618 again. That daily fair value gap. HUD continues to consolidate. JD. Yeah, we're seeing, and it's just random across the board. So I'd much rather wait till the next monthly to open up and really see something play out here. Snow could be decent out here with this tab. Snow also daily. Snow. To the end of the week, with the top of the daily FEG. So that one could give us something to the upside. ZZ. Yeah, nothing else really. Nothing crazy out here on the markets, honestly. And we can do an overview tomorrow of just what price is doing. Right, take a look through every single ticker and really see how the week is closing out and determine what we could do going into the next week, potentially. Right? And that will do it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for tuning in. As always, make sure to check out Mr. Hayes at HayesBeats on Twitter. 3,000 followers for him. We're going to do a lifetime membership giveaway for the Paper Traders membership. 2,000 followers for me. We're going to do a lifetime membership giveaway. Make sure you check us out on Twitter as well at the Paper Traders, and check out our website www.papertraders.io. Best way to find out about us, and I'll do it. Peace out.